All right, welcome everyone. We are about to begin our April 21st regular board meeting. Be official. We'll call the meeting to session. Want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. And since we have quorum, I'll ask that you all please stand for a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. She caught me off guard with that. All right, we'll start with our favorite part of the evening, which is recognizing all of our students of the month. First, we want to give you a few housekeeping details. Mr. David Dixon is here with us. He'll take professional photographs of your student and their teacher after they're presented here this evening, and then we'll have a brief intermission. We'll go out in the hallway, and all the family members and students can be photographed in the hallway by Mr. Dixon, and you can enjoy refreshments. And you're also then welcome to come back to the business part of our meeting if you would like. So we will kick it off with the Virginia F. Wood Early Learning Center.
Hello, good evening. I'm Kaylee Dickin, Assistant Director at the Virginia F. Wood Early Learning Center, and I would like to introduce you to Stella Binkley. Stella shows up daily with a big smile on her face, ready to learn. It is not hard to notice Stella's positive attitude and kindness in the classroom. Tonight, I have with me Stella's teachers, Riley Bishop, Paula Van Skyke, and Terry Reed. Thanks for coming to celebrate Stella. Her teachers share, most mornings I'm greeted by her big smile, a hug, and a book from Stella's collection. She loves bringing in her books from home to share with the class. She checks in on her classmates who might be having a bad day and offers to help those who need it. We love hearing Stella's stories, which usually consist of her proudly explaining to us how she helped with her little brother and little sister at home. The excitement and joy it brings Stella to share her things with others and to help others are just a couple of examples of the big and kind heart that she has. When I think of a leader, the first thing that usually comes to mind is someone who's loud and fearless with a bold personality. Stella has reminded me that sometimes being a leader means leading by example in a quiet and consistent way through acts of service and compassion. Congrats, Stella.
Congratulations. And next we invite Shamrock Springs.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Rob Hedges, principal at Shamrock Springs Elementary School, and tonight we'd like to recognize Allie Rodriguez as our Shamrock Springs Student of the Month, and Mrs. Alford would like to say a few words about her.
Thank you, Principal Hedges, for letting me read all about wonderful Allie, who is just a blessing to have in class. So good evening. Shamrock Springs is excited to celebrate Allie Rodriguez's hard work and growth. Allie is a new Shamrock joining us this year from Mexico. From the moment she stepped into her third grade classroom, she drew people in with her sweet smile. She quickly began making friends and learning all about her new school, classmates, and language. During the first several months, Allie learned by observing and building social language. Through her hard work and perseverance, she has blossomed into an active participant in lessons. When I think back to the once shy, avoiding participation student, to now when her hand shoots up for every question and she vibrates with enthusiasm to share all that she knows, it is truly something to celebrate. Third grade is a challenging year, especially with the hurdles of state testing, but Allie is finding success with each obstacle she faces. In Westfield, we pride ourselves on helping students become life ready. Seeing Allie demonstrate perseverance, hard work, kindness, flexibility, and friendship, we know she is well on her way, and we are grateful to be a part of the beginning of her journey.
Congratulations, Allie. And next we invite Washington Woods.
Good evening. My name is Libby Bod. I am the principal at Washington Woods Elementary, and I'm here tonight to actually celebrate Henry Bjork. Unfortunately, he was not able to be here this evening. I'm super bummed, but that wasn't going to stop us from celebrating him. I'm hoping he's either watching our live stream or maybe we'll catch the recording later on. And we will make sure he gets all of his things tomorrow because he was very excited about that. Henry has come very far this school year, and I think even from his years before at Washington Woods. So he had his third grade teacher, Mrs. Weir, nominated him along with one of his other teachers, Mrs. Klinkenbeard, so I have a couple words that they wanted to share. Mrs. Weir shared that Henry has had an amazing month in third grade. He puts first things first all day and every day. He comes in each morning, reads the board, and gets right to work. He has also worked really hard to ensure that he meets his boost minutes each week so that he gets to participate in his morning soft start activities on Thursdays and Fridays. Henry has shown so much growth when it comes to collaboration. He is an excellent group member during his group projects or his partner activities. He is a leader who is thoughtful of others and ensures his work gets completed. I always enjoy Henry's passion for things he loves, whether it's his artwork, Pokemon, figuring out a challenging Wordle word, or solving a tricky math problem. He always gives it his all. Henry, I am so proud of the leader you are and will continue to be. Keep up the great work. And Mrs. Klinkenbeard wanted to share a few words. She said that Henry arrives at school each day with a bright smile and an exciting story to share. He's bringing a sense of joy and energy that lifts those around him. Throughout this year, he has worked incredibly hard to grow in his self-advocacy, his leadership, his collaboration, and he has been such a joy to watch his confidence and abilities flourish. He bravely steps outside of his comfort zone, embracing his challenges with determination, and inspires others to do the same through his kindness and examples. He is truly deserving of this award, and it is an honor to celebrate all that he has accomplished. So, thank you for listening.
All right. We welcome Carrie Ridge.
Hi, my name is Jen Rivera. I'm the assistant principal at Cary Ridge, and I'm here with Mrs. Tellez, and we are here tonight to celebrate Rowan. We are so excited to recognize Rowan as our April Student of the Month. Rowan is the kind of student who lights up the room the moment he walks in, always bringing a big smile and an even bigger personality with him. I recognized that the moment he came into kindergarten screening last year. He came in with this big smile and big personality and instantly brightened my day and probably everybody's day in the office as well. Whether he's in the classroom, his WIN group, or on the bus, he spreads joy wherever he goes. Rowan is funny, charismatic, and has a natural gift for making others laugh and feel included. It has been such a joy to watch him grow and to get to know him this year. Beyond his humor and energy, Rowan is an outstanding student who truly demonstrates integrity each and every day. He's honest, trustworthy, and consistently tries to do the right thing even when no one is watching. He works hard in his classroom, shows kindness to his peers, and is always willing to lend a helping hand when someone needs it. His positive attitude and strong character make a meaningful impact on our school community. What makes Rowan especially special is the way he lifts others up. Whether it's a silly joke, a warm smile, or a kind word, he has a way of making people's day better just by being himself. As Maya Angelou once said, try to be a rainbow in someone else's cloud. Rowan does exactly that, bringing color, kindness, and joy wherever he goes. Congratulations, Rowan. Carrie Ridge is super proud of you.
Congratulations. Now we welcome Maple Glen.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tiffany Buzan, and I am the principal at Maple Glen Elementary, and I am extremely proud to introduce you all to our Student of the Month, Hemza Jundi. And I am joined today with Mrs. Price and Mrs. Gray, Hemza's teachers, and we have some really great things to say about Hemza. Now, I do want to throw this out. I first met Hemza when he was 2 years old and came into my office, and it has been just a really cool experience to be here with him today. This year, Hemza and his family moved from Cary Ridge to Maple Glen, and Mrs. Price shared with me that moving is hard for kids. You leave behind friends, and you have to learn new teachers and procedures and expectations. In the midst of all of these changes, Hemza has continued to work hard and excel at school. He is kind, patient, and always respectful to both his teachers and classmates. He doesn't seek the spotlight, but consistently does his best and models a strong work ethic. Mrs. Price shared that she has truly enjoyed having him in her classroom and sees him as a leader among his peers. Mrs. Gray added that he has been a joy to work with, and he is a dedicated student who strives to do his best, advocates for himself, and has grown in confidence as the year has progressed. And according to Hemza's teachers, his former teachers at Cary Ridge, they say that this success is no surprise to them. Mrs. Russell, Mrs. Baker, and Mrs. Rivera all reached out to share that Hemza has been a wonderful student from the very beginning, from the second he's walked in as a 3-year-old to the outstanding young man we see here today. They remember his eagerness to learn, his strong work ethic, and his subtle sense of humor that has always brought joy to those around him. So Hemza, it is an honor to celebrate you tonight. We are so proud of you. Congratulations.
Congratulations. And now we welcome Monon Trail.
Hey, good evening, everyone. I'm Jeremy Marvel, the principal at Monon Trail Elementary School, and this is Mrs. Savannah Van Weiss, second grade teacher at Monon. And we're super pumped to celebrate Wyatt Mailing as our Student of the Month for Monon Trail. I don't want to take too much of Mrs. Van Weiss' thunder, but in talking with Wyatt, I knew he was a new kiddo this year to us, but in talking to him a little bit more, I was asking him, like, this is not your first school, right? He said, no. I've been to a couple. It's not his second school. It's not his third school. I said, how many schools have you been to? And he's like, I don't know, 4 or 5, maybe counting preschool. So due to Dad's job in the military, he's moved around a lot. He came in super flexible kiddo and has been a leader from the start. And I'll let Mrs. Van Weiss share a little bit more.
Thank you, Mr. Marvel. All right, I would love to share with you guys why I nominated Wyatt for Monon Trail's Student of the Month. Wyatt and his family are new to the district this year. He walked into our classroom having known no one, and he's leaving this year with best friends, teammates, and even mentees. Can a second grader really be a mentor? My answer is a resounding yes. Wyatt's curiosity has infiltrated almost every student in my class, enriching the content of my lessons with his research he does at home. One example of this is when we were learning about Eastern civilizations, Wyatt went home and taught himself how to write Chinese characters, and then brought that knowledge to school and taught all of us. His family also encourages learning. His mom, Elaine, can be seen at every class party or field trip that she is able to attend. And his father, David, is a veteran and came to our class to read a book on Veterans Day and fielded all the curious questions that second graders had about his service. We thank you for your service, and we thank you guys for your time and dedication to Wyatt's education. We thank you for choosing Monon Trail Elementary to settle down roots. Monon's not just better for having Wyatt in it, but Westfield Washington schools are better for having the Mailing family. Thank you so much for choosing us.
Congratulations. Now we welcome Oak Trace.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jane Hitch, the proud principal of Oak Trace, and I have with us Mr. Bryson Howe, our student of the month for this month, as well as two of his amazing teachers, Miss Grenda and Mrs. Pepio, who are very happy to be here to celebrate you tonight. So many people wanted to talk about how great Bryson is. He's such a joy to have at our school. He's one of 8 children, so he's got a lot of family cheering him on here and at home tonight. Mrs. Griggs talks about what a great job you do in music, how you take initiative without even being asked. Love that. Mrs. Gabriel talks about how you give lots of great hugs. Even she worked with you last year, and those hugs continue. You notice a lot of people said that about you, Bryson. Mrs. Pepio here talks about how he's made impressive progress this year and really rocked your math facts. We won't quiz you in front of everybody, but we're proud of you for all of that. And he takes responsibility for making sure that his work gets done, which we love too. Mr. Vandenberg talks about what a good sport you are and how you treat people well in PE. And Miss Dotzenbach says you were a light in your 3rd grade classroom last year. Mrs. Walker likes how you help people find books. Everybody has a different aspect of Bryson that makes him special. And Miss McClintock in art says you give 100% effort into your work. That's impressive, 100%. I don't know how much all of us could say that. Mrs. Cox talks about how you were a great example of perseverance and you never gave up. And Miss Grenda had so many great things to say. She says you've worked so hard this year and continue to work hard every day. Your smile lights up our classroom. That's not the only person that said that. Your efforts do not go unnoticed. You are one of the kindest students I've ever had the pleasure of teaching, and you are the reason why I teach. Isn't that a great thing? I love that. He cares for others and is a friend to everyone around him. We're just so proud of Bryson Howe. He is such a model citizen at Oak Trace. Let's give him a big round of applause.
Congratulations. Now we welcome the intermediate school.
Good evening. I'm Callie Harrell, assistant principal at Westfield Intermediate School, and I am joined up here by Rylan Griesemer and Mrs. Lopez, his teacher. We're so excited to celebrate him as the WIS Student of the Month. Rylan is truly deserving of Student of the Month because of the quiet but powerful way he impacts everyone around him. Whether he's sharing about his recent trip to Ireland or showing his unique personality, Rylan is completely himself in the best way possible. He cares deeply for others in a way that goes beyond what you typically see in 5th grade. He is incredibly smart, but never seeks attention for it, and instead uses his strengths to lift others up.
Rylan consistently demonstrates a calm, steady presence in our classroom. He shows integrity in his actions and decisions every day, making him someone his peers and teachers can always trust. His classmates often go to him for help because they know he will support them without judgment and with genuine kindness. He has a natural ability to explain things in a way that makes sense, and he truly listens to others' ideas. Rylan is very observant of the world around him and quietly pays attention to our classroom community. Because of this, he easily makes connections with others and notices when someone might be feeling left out. He never hesitates to ask someone to join his group or play, making sure everyone feels included. Other students look up to him as a role model because of his humility and the way he consistently includes and helps others, often without being asked. When Mrs. Lopez asked his classmates why Rylan deserves this recognition, their answers said it all. They shared that he includes everyone, is kind, follows directions, is smart, listens to others' ideas, and is selfless. They described him as a good friend, hardworking, responsible, and often the first to help. They even mentioned his talents outside the classroom, like playing the violin. His peers truly think the world of him because of who he is every single day. Rylan's kindness, character, and consistent positive behavior make him such a deserving choice for Student of the Month. Congratulations, Rylan.
Congratulations. And now we welcome the middle school.
Good evening. I'm Stacy Swan, principal of the middle school, and we are here tonight to recognize Kira Elliott as our Student of the Month. And I was very excited to recognize her because she is absolutely one of my favorite 8th graders in the whole building. And I got to know Kira as a 7th grader, and then at lunch and at buses when she taught me her show choir routines and all the things going on. So I got to know her very well. But the thing that struck me the most is what a great friend she is. And she's kind, she's supportive, she's honest and caring, and I just think about if every middle schooler had a friend like Kira, their life and their school, like time in school, would be so much better. And so that's why I wanted to recognize Kira for her amazing ability to be a friend and lift others up, all the while being a black belt in Taekwondo and having straight A's, nearly 100% in every class. So she's a really amazing young lady. So I'm gonna let Mrs. Smith talk a little bit more about her.
Oh, I didn't know I was speaking, but I'm happy to speak about Kira. I did write something about her. So I'm gonna hopefully read, because I don't have my glasses on, what I wrote about her. I said that Kira is a joy to have in class. She's a shining example of curiosity, kindness, and determination. She asks thoughtful questions and challenges herself to go beyond expectations. She treats others with compassion and respect, creating a positive and supportive environment for her classmates. She is a natural leader, as evidenced by her willingness to volunteer for our recent auditions, helping to guide incoming choir members through a choreography routine. She's the first to volunteer for any position or opportunity, always wanting to help others and leave the group better than it was when she came. Outside of school, she's highly dedicated to her Taekwondo dojo and enjoys guiding the students she assists with. And I'm so thankful for the positive energy she brings to class daily. She is very, very deserving of this recognition.
Congratulations, Kira. I, for one, am going to miss you very much, and I know several other people in our building will too. So congratulations, and the high school is getting a great young lady.
Congratulations. And now we welcome the high school.
Hi, I'm Erica Seymour, one of the assistant principals at Westfield High School, and I have the great pleasure of announcing and kind of bragging a little bit on Sophia Kozetsky, who's our student of the month. She's the type of student I think everyone wants in their class as a friend, and I want to kind of highlight a few things about her and then read what some of her teachers said. She's a current junior who is earning a 3.77 GPA, which is pretty amazing. She's challenging herself in a lot of ways. She's a member of National Honor Society. She's the current president of Best Buddies, and she's already been elected to lead them again next year. So she's got exciting things ahead for her senior year. She is a speaker for the Joseph Maley Foundation, where she extends her advocacy for disability awareness. She's in unified flag football, unified bowling, and she also plays travel softball. She is most looking forward to, in senior year, all of the great milestones that seniors get to celebrate. So the senior sunsets, the breakfast, and we've got a whole checklist in the high school that as the year goes on, the kids get excited for, and we get to check them off. So we're excited for that for you next year. Here are a few things that her teachers said about her. Mrs. Wetzel, who's the Best Buddies sponsor, said Sophia is passionate about her role in Best Buddies, and she looks out for the best interest of all students. She's encouraging, kind, organized, and an overall go-getter. She's a wonderful asset and the perfect leader for our club. Mr. Frederick, another one of our assistant principals, said Sophia is a wonderful role model, great friend and buddy, a fierce champion for inclusion. I was extremely impressed with her organization and planning for the 2026 Inclusion Revolution, and she did an incredible job speaking at a packed house of ninth graders, which can be quite the challenge. And then from one of her other teachers, he says, Mr. Ewing, every day she brings an amazing attitude and work ethic to class. Her efforts in class and service work outside of the classroom demonstrate all of the qualities that make her an amazing servant leader. So congratulations. We're excited to celebrate you the rest of this year and have an awesome senior year next year.
All right, congratulations to all of our April students of the month. And at this time, we will take a short break where students and their families can enjoy refreshments in the lobby and get photographs with Mr. Dixon. Our business portion of the meeting will resume in 15 minutes. All right, we will reconvene. If we can invite everyone to the podium or dossier that should be here. Okay, now to our business portion of the meeting. First item is public comment on agenda items. However, we do not have any public comments submitted for this evening. So we will move to the consent agenda, which includes board minutes, accounts payable vouchers, payroll vouchers, personnel report, overnight and out-of-state field trips, grants, gifts, and donations, and routine contract renewals. At this time, all items in the consent agenda have been reviewed by the board in advance of the meeting and are approved in a single motion. At this time, I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Thank you, Bill. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mike. It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion or any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion passes. And just before we move on, there are a couple housekeeping items here. First, I'd like to ask Dr. Baldwin to say a few words.
Thank you, Madam President, members of the board. Just right now, you approved personnel, and in personnel, we have an exciting announcement. We would like to congratulate Maggie Holtman as the new Assistant Director of ELC. Maggie has been in the Assistant Director and heading up our BAC program since 2023, and also previous education experience prior to that. But we're excited, and congratulations, Maggie Holtman, our new Assistant Director of the ELC. Congratulations. Feel free to say anything if you'd like to say anything to the group.
A lot of amazing and wonderful things. So I'm happy to continue to be a part of that and continue to move us forward. Welcome.
So with the naming, obviously, of Kaylee Dickin, last board meeting, and now Maggie, we have Maggie's position has been posted. So we'll now start the process of interviewing for that spot. So thank you.
Congratulations. At this time, I'd also like to just share a little bit of detail about the donation gifts and grants we just approved. We had one grant this evening from the City of Westfield for $25,000. It was granted to the district for supporting substance abuse early intervention and prevention programming at both the middle school and the high school. So we sincerely appreciate the city for giving us that grant. And we also want to call out and give thanks and appreciation to the Hoy family for a donation. They recently donated a new refrigerator to Maple Glen, so we appreciate their kindness. All right, moving on to our next segment is business and operations. And each month we look forward to our construction updates. Appreciate our construction partners coming in and sharing the progress with the district. And this evening we will first welcome Mike from Hagerman Group.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board, and Dr. Ath and everyone in the community. Thanks for this opportunity to give you an update. I appreciate it on behalf of Hagerman. So this is through April, really, and as you know, we had a really dry month early. Let's see, so this is, do I click on that to make the drum go? Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so we're going around the building. I also have some still photos that I can share with you. We can just jump out and go to the presentation if we need to. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't mean to waste your time. Sorry. to the. Well, I can talk to you about a few things without the pictures, so we'll get those going. Good progress now that we're able to work outside. So work in progress. We're doing the site piping for the. Thank you so much. I apologize for that. So this is a photo from the south looking north, right? And this is looking west to the east. So this is with your back towards Centennial Road, okay? And this is from the north looking south, where that new east-west road goes. And this one's from the east looking west, so part of that would be the wrestling rooms and things like that. And then this one is the new entrance, okay? That'll be the new entrance. And I put this one in because it begins to show those big black pipes laying there. That's part of the underground geothermal piping that we've got stretched out and we're starting to install, and obviously roofing work and masonry and building enclosure and windows. This is where we started, so this is the farthest along. So you can see the windows are in, the brick are clean, the roof's on, some sidewalks are being poured, and if you were there today, you'd see that there were more curbs poured. This is inside. I'll say the big clear story, the big gathering space. This is on the second floor, kind of looking down in there. Those big boxes, that's the foam that we use to form the lower half. The concrete will go over all that foam. And so this is in the lower level looking back up. It's going to be a great space, and I know you guys are already familiar with those. We've got some ceramic tile going on walls, okay? And this is the cooler freezer at the front of that, so that's been installed. That's always kind of a milestone event. So what's happening, just to highlight a few words, some site piping for geothermal. We've started the synthetic field work for the stadium. We'll continue with exterior metal and siding, roofing, a lot of overhead MEP, drywall, some finishes that I noted, and we started the Centennial Road reconstruction work this past Monday. Next 60 days, a lot of the same, but we will be advancing onto the baseball field and the softball field, and obviously the school opens fall of 27. Some financials, original contract amount, then we had that change order one for the road. We've billed 59% as through March, 83 million, and we used 14% of the owner designer allowance and 9.9 of the CMC. We've had 61 ASIs issued to date by the design team. Really some important events is the sanitary sewer main to the site. What we need is, we've got to work with Mr. Kelly. I think there were some emails the last couple days. We've got to get that document signed and back to citizens so we can connect the sewer and water. You know, we wanted to do that last summer, and we're kind of in that critical red zone. We got to get that, so I need your help with that one, please. And then Centennial Road work we started, and we still got to work out the deal with the land for the passing blister there. And the intersection work, talking to Jeff Hill with A&F Engineering, he said that's been submitted to the state, and they're waiting for their final comments back. With that, I'll take questions. Okay, thank you.
You're all set? Okay. I think one of the delays just is in the transition. Last summer, there was one that was sent only to Brian Michael and didn't have anyone else from our organization on it, from citizens. And so that was missed last summer in the transition. And so we got that corrected, and then we had to get our attorney involved because remember, a lot of times it's the building corp sometimes that has to sign things. because that's who owns the facility.
Makes sense.
Yep.
So you said Brian, did you mean Brian
Ke-
Tomichael or Brian?
Oh,
Kelly.
I was referring to Brian Kelly.
Yeah, so we got him
Kelly's
in.
not gonna sign it, right?
No. Brian Kelly can sign some things, but I think we're on it. We have it to John. Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, now we invite Jerry with Performance Services to the podium.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board and Westfield Washington Schools Administration. Happy to give you an update on what's happening over at Cool Creek Elementary and Westfield Middle School. Things are just really getting ready to ramp up. I'll start with Cool Creek Elementary first. That's where most of the work is focused to start for the project and the project overall. Just a floor plan reminder of where we were focused. What we just wrapped up is the area circled. That is the area that is the special ed suite. So we had a couple of classrooms and support spaces that were wrapped up in that area. And that area is actually just getting ready to be occupied. We're going to do some transitions and move some students into those spaces so that we can start work in other areas. This is one of the classrooms looking two different directions. A second classroom looking two different directions. You can see the finishes. The finished palette, by the way, in these rooms is, this has been standardized. So we're aligned with your new elementary schools. So, as we develop projects, the finishes will be in alignment for all of your new buildings. Then the conference room and special ed support staff. So what is coming? So I wanted to show this so you get an idea of what the extent of work that's going to be happening over the summer and actually beginning here very soon. I want to focus on the upper left-hand corner of the first floor there, Phase 2.1 and Phase 2.2. Phase 2.1 is just getting ready to start. That will be a group of what will become 6 kindergarten classrooms. So those rooms are going to be vacated and those students will be moving to other rooms within the building. We'll begin work here in about a week, actually, on those rooms. Because we have some reconfiguration infrastructure work that we need to do, it's a little bit more we can get knocked out in about a 2-month summer period, so we're going to take those rooms over a little bit early. And then the yellow area is what we'll be doing over the summer. So all of those rooms, they don't undergo the same amount of reconstruction. It's mostly infrastructure, furniture, technology-related, finishes-related changes, basically shifting those rooms to the age groups that will be coming to the building next year. Then from the site perspective, we really have zoned the site kind of in 2 halves. There's an east and a west half. We're going to be focused on the west half of the building, or the site, this summer, and we're actually working currently, I have some images to show you here in a moment, in the area there that is kind of right in the center of the page in yellow, and getting ready to move down into the area that will become the Cool Creek Elementary School playgrounds. They'll be redeveloping that playground area. This image looking towards the north there, and it's just to the north of the current playground. Right in the foreground is where your stormwater detention basin is located. That will be going away. So we need that area for playground space. And the yellow-orange elements you see stacked there, those are underground stormwater detention chambers. So that's where the water will go. Those will be placed mostly in the island area there, kind of right next to the bus parking lot. So we're just getting ready to start the storm piping work that will allow us to install those chambers. And then here's another image looking the other direction towards the elementary school, towards the current intermediate, but towards the elementary school. And you can see a little clearer there, the piping and chambers. And if you're to go out there today, you'll see there's even more piping stacked out there getting ready for all the work that will be beginning. So then just in plan, wanted to highlight the zone that we're really focused on right now and most heavily focused on over the course of the summer as well. And what will it look like? This is what it will become here in just a matter of months. So that will be ready for the start of school in the fall. So a lot of work to be done, but we're making good progress towards that end. We have some other work going on. There's roofing both at the middle school and at the intermediate school, Cool Creek Elementary School. The green areas of work, green areas have been completed. Yellow area is in progress, and then the stippled and hatched areas are areas that are to come. So over the next 30 days, what we'll be doing is beginning the stormwater piping infrastructure for the new playground and for the driveway adjustments. We'll install the underground stormwater detention chambers. We'll remove all of the existing playground structures and play surfaces, and we'll begin playground rough grading. Inside the building, we'll develop, here over the next few days actually, we'll develop a temporary construction partition that separates the future kindergarten area from the rest of the building so that we can do work in there and separate our work activities from the work classroom environments. We'll complete the demolition in those kindergarten classrooms. We'll begin infrastructure rough-ins at those classroom areas, and we'll continue the re-roofing. At the middle school, not a lot going on just yet. So less to talk about. This is the diagram that shows what we'll be doing. We have one area that we're working in, which is locker room area, where we're doing a renovation finishes in that locker room, a little bit of infrastructure related work. That is currently undergoing since they vacated those lockers. Most of the work happens over the summer. Most of it in the portions we'll be doing in the summer is finishes related. There's some bleacher replacements that we'll be making. The heavy work then that we'll be doing for reconfiguration to 4 sixth graders actually begins in the fall, and we have a rotation where we'll be doing a group of 3 or 4 rooms at a time. In the first phase, we set up the library media center with classrooms. They're actually being used, but they're also being used to facilitate swing space so that we can move students out and do a rotation to be able to develop that work over the course of the school year. Like the elementary school, intermediate school, we're doing re-roofing work. The green areas, again, are completed areas. The yellow areas are currently in progress, and the hatched areas are still to come. So we're getting close with completing all the roofing at the middle school. And then what are we going to do in the next 30 days at the middle school? We'll continue the gymnasium locker room renovations, continue the re-roofing, and we'll begin relocation of the west leg of the campus drive. So I'll open it up for any questions from the board.
Yeah. Thank you for the update.
You're welcome.
Right now we invite Matt Grossman from Meyer Needham to the podium.
Good evening. Appreciate the opportunity to present again this month. Starting with our project over at Westfield Transportation, work completed since the last update. The water and sanitary lateral installation to the building was completed. We started on the remainder of the site concrete installation that was left out for those utilities to go in. The fuel station testing has started. Move-in coordination meeting was held last week with Mike Hall and the transportation team, and the results of that, I'll talk about that later as we get to the operations in a little more detail, but we are targeting that group to be moved over by June 8th. Transportation contingency usage is at 57%. Pictures on the right are some of the lateral installation work that we did. The top is the meter pit, where the domestic water and the fire line separate and go around the building, and then the bottom picture is just one of the new fire hydrants located around the facility. Here's one of the shots of the bus bays looking from the north side to the south towards the mezzanine You can see there we have the bus exhaust systems, and then all the reels and cords hanging down. That is your pumps and hoses for the washer fluid, oil, and other fluids for the bus systems. And this is just a picture from the other side looking north. The other side of that north wall is where the bus wash bay is located. Next 60 days, we look to complete the remainder of the site grading around the site where, again, the utilities were put in around the building. Complete the balance of the site electrical installation, which is the balance of the light pole bases on the south side parking lot. Metronet service will be active to the building. Complete the balance of the asphalt binder and top coat, and then restripe the areas that need to be restriped. Test systems that will now have the water service on them. Complete the balance of the site fencing and gates. The landscape will then continue around the site, and we are right now targeting the taps for the water and sanitary lines to happen on 4/29. And as I mentioned, move-in completed by the transportation team around 6/8. That is all just right now as we work with citizens on the final secondary plat, maintenance bond, as-built drawings. That's kind of our target date as we're working through those items with them. Picture top right is a picture of the lateral work going on in front of the building, and then the bottom right is just the cleanup process that is starting to get ready to shape that berm out front and complete the landscape. Town Road and Citizens with the Westfield Utilities, work completed to date. Sanitary main installation and the water main installation are now at the same stage. Both systems have been tested and completed. Installation approval of the entire system has been received from Citizens, and then the closeout documents and approval process is underway. And then, as Mike had mentioned for his portion, the water line has been extended all the way now over to Centennial and has been completed. The drainage ditch and pond, Hamilton County Surveyor's Office has approved the structures at the Little Eagle Creek outlet, and we are coordinating with the City of Westfield to review the box culvert and open ditch for approval so that the middle school pond outlet can be constructed and connected to our southern ditch. On this project, the contingency usage is sitting right at 48%, and the picture on the right is from a couple weeks ago when the water line was spread out heading east towards Centennial along the new middle school road. Next 60 days, as I mentioned, we look to receive all final approval and closeout documents approvals from citizens. Again, we will make the tap of the water and sanitary lines on the 29th as our target date. Metronet is completing their installation down State Road 32. They had to wait for us to complete the water line as they install at a depth not as deep as the water line, so they had to go second. Complete the restoration of what we disturbed through Eagletown. You can see in the picture on the right, we've started to go back, mill and repave the roads that we cut through. We'll be going back through doing the landscaping and take care of all the properties that needed to be updated with mailboxes, fencing, and such to put it back in the same condition as when we started. And then down in front of our Newtown Road, we will complete the asphalt top coat and striping of State Road 32. Westfield Operations Building, the existing warehouse. We worked on completing the punch list items we had for that building. That's all that's happened there in the last month, and that contingency usage is currently at 40%. With the move, as I mentioned, moving the buses over to transportation, we look to start at the existing transportation facility, make the new building renovation project start with the MEP Make Safe, the miscellaneous demo to prepare the addition, grading foundations for the addition, and then we'll be working out in the existing bus lot and work on the utilities and start on the salt barn foundations that'll be on the north side of the parking lot. Then added here at the bottom, Shamrock Station, there will be a ribbon cutting event prior to the next board meeting. And that is all I have for update. Open up to any questions.
Anybody have anything? So let go. Lot going on. Coming
Thank
together
you.
nicely. Thank you. And then is Brian Johnson of Garmon with us? Oh, hello in the back. Come on up to the front and join us. This is Mr. Brian Johnson with Garmon. He'll give us an update.
Hi, good evening. I'm Brian Johnson. I'm the project manager on the Shamrock project, and I'm happy to give you guys an update for both Midland and Shamrock. First picture is of Midland of April of 25. They had just started hanging steel, and a year later, as you can see, the project is nearly complete. All the exterior masonry is complete, just tying up some loose ends with some metal panel construction and finishing some EIFS work. Those are some other drone photos just showing the building's coming along nicely. Got some sidewalks going in currently. Showing the brick facade and the EIFS work being completed, as well as the pod area, community area flooring going in. And that's the art room. Got the residence flooring complete in there. They've currently got the glass handrail going on the gathering stair. And then you got the main corridor to your right. Again, another pod flooring. Currently they are punching areas, area D and B, and completing some interior storefront, completing the painting work in the gym area, getting ready to put the gym flooring in. Drywall finishing is 98% complete. Interior painting is 80% complete. They are almost complete with all the overhead MEP rough ends and finishing. Acoustical ceilings are nearly complete. Residence flooring is complete. All the water is turned on to the building. The electrical devices are almost complete as well. Interior storefront glass is almost complete. Metal panels, they're currently working through that, 35% complete. They've got the resilient flooring as well, 50% complete, and HVAC system startup complete as well. Looking ahead, they have done their punch list work in area D and B, and they're currently working on the punch list corrections in those areas. They're going to start their HVAC testing and balancing as well. They're going to start their playground equipment installation, finishing up their EIFS, the site grading, topsoil, landscaping installation will begin, and the top coat of asphalt will also be put in place. Contingency recap, they started with 1.971 million. Current usage is 528,000. The new amount is 1.4 million left. Moving on to my project, Shamrock Springs. You can see the drone photo. Currently, we are working through brick installation. They are working through the back of the building to the front. We are about 75% complete with that. We've got EIFS work ongoing. Roofing works, roof soffit work is currently going on. Roofing installation is complete. These are some interior photos from the second floor in area D. We're currently topping out and finishing MEP rough-ins in those areas. We are currently starting drywall finishing in area C. That's a shot of the media center. We've got interior storefront going on, and like I said, starting some drywall finishing area C. Interior storefronts are going in area D, and we've begun finishing, drywall finishing in those areas as well. That's a shot of the admin area / area C that's drywall finishing has begun, and a shot of area D where they're currently placing, hanging and finishing drywall as well. Our project progress, currently we're completing plumbing rough-in areas, plumbing sprinkler rough-in areas, rough-in in areas A and B, as well as the duct and electrical. We've got EIFS currently going on areas C and D. Brick installation is working their way around the front of the building in area A. We have our water utility being installed on the east side of the building. They're going to continue working to the south and connect the loop on the west side. Soffit construction is going on in Area B. We're finishing the curbs for the north parking lot with the anticipation of paving that on the 28th. Interior storefront installation is going on in Area C and D. And like I said previously, we've got drywall finishing in Area C. We're currently hanging drywall in areas D and B. And got some bulkhead framing going on in areas A and B. Looking ahead, we look to finish the brick in Area A here in a few weeks. Interior masonry has 2 walls left for completion in the cafeteria/music room area. We're going to continue our soffit and EFIS installation. We're going to continue our duct, electrical, and sprinkler rough-in, heading toward completion with those activities. We're going to complete the water installation, as I said, around the west side of the building here in a couple weeks. Curb installation will be done on the north lot as well. We're going to continue with our storefront installation on the interior, continue with hanging our drywall in areas A and B, and complete our bulkhead framing. Contingency, we started with 1.98. We have used 350,000, and we're currently left with 1.63. Any questions? Yep, December 26th for occupancy and January of 27. You good? Thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate all of our construction partners joining us and giving us an update and watching our projects progress. The next item on the agenda, we will turn it over to Dr. Hunt to discuss the Spend Bridge subscription agreement.
Looking at, thank you. We are looking at really the platform itself, especially again from the efficiency standpoint. I'll get into that in just a moment. So the objective is to centralize and automate the organization's source to pay ecosystem, including procurement, automation, invoice and accounts payable automation, and expense management. So the platform will really allow us the opportunity, and instead of spending several hours digging into basically quotes, it's a platform that allows us instantaneously to do some comparison as we do any type of procurement or any type of purchasing of supplies. The contract compliance, the platform includes contract management module that automatically checks purchase order prices against pre-negotiated contracts. Again, it cuts down on the time, but again, we are finding the very best pricing as we move forward. Efficiency reduces manual paper-based workflows by digitizing travel requests, internal forms, and approval routing. Cost savings provides an intuitive e-marketplace that guides users toward preferred vendors, maximizing negotiated discounts, and identifying lower cost alternatives. The visibility offers the real-time spend and analytics. So again, we're going to be able to analyze these not only as we're going forward in making the purchases or procuring, but also looking at the history and making better decisions as we move forward. And the procurement law, this agreement aligns with the policies for data processing and software licensing that permits special purchases without traditional bids under specific state codes. Again, so it allows us that opportunity to maximize. And then the confidentiality of the agreement. SpendBridge guarantees the agreement includes standard clauses to protect sensitive organizational data, limit disclosure, and authorize personnel only. And then the service level agreement, SpendBridge guarantees a 99% availability ratio with credits provided if performance falls below that threshold. The financial impact of this, the annual cost is $31,500 per year. The initial one-time fee of the $12,500 is just, again, it's the initial setup. The estimated annual savings, this is based upon our current spend. So what we were able to do is provide SpendBridge our spend. They were able to take a look very specifically in our spends, and we're able to analyze on a very conservative basis. Again, this is the conservative. I've got a high end. I'm not going to share that with you. I'm going to just show you the conservative, if basically just implementing the program itself and the platform and utilizing it to its capabilities. We're looking at about $178,412 initially in that first year of savings. And again, that more than pays for itself. And again, as we look for efficient ways in which to do these things, manpower is a big one as well, not only here at the central office, but also in our buildings too with our treasurers. As they do the requisitions and purchases, they're able to use this platform. And again, it allows them to do a quick shop. And again, the whole idea of this is efficiency, and it's also in cost savings. So this evening, I know it's a whole lot, it's a mouthful to provide you, but I want to make sure in our transparency and all our due diligence that went into making our recommendation. But this evening, the administration recommends that the Board of School Trustees approve the SpendBridge subscription agreement and authorize to execute all necessary documents to implement this service.
Thank you, Dr. Hunt. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the SpendBridge subscription agreement and authorize administration to execute all necessary documents to implement the service as presented.
So moved.
Thank you, Mike. Do I have a second? Second. Thank you, Carrie. It's been moved and seconded to approve the SpendBridge subscription agreement and authorize administration to execute all necessary documents. Is there any discussion or are there any questions?
It sounds like a pretty good program, and not only does it sound like we're going to save some money, I'm hoping maybe we can save some time for our current staff. Maybe Marcia could work a little less, because I know she works a ton.
It's not only just market, it's both of our accounts payable as well. I mean, and again, our staff within the school. So I'm very excited about this. This is not actually introducing the entire package that SpendBridge offers. This is the initial. If it's something that we would like to continue, there's some other components to that. Again, as we work through the efficiency, but Mr. Anderson, to your point, yes, it should really cut down on the man hours and be able to utilize those in different ways.
Be nice. And then hopefully we can reevaluate and kind of quantify a little bit, like a year from now, see how successful it is or something. That'd be kind of nice to see.
Yeah, those analytics will be there for us to be able to do those comparisons.
That's great.
Absolutely.
It's just a one-year contract?
It's a 2-year contract to begin with.
One of the things, as school districts grow, you have to manage things, processes, and so sometimes in that management and the people power, you look for the easiest or the way to do that, right? This system allows us to do the efficiency piece in that as well as we grow. And when we were a little bit smaller, that was easier to do. So we're looking forward to seeing that first year analytics on how this helped us. And I think it will also teach us a thing or two about the procurement and purchasing process. We worked with SpinBridge a couple years ago for some curriculum materials to help us. It wasn't using their system, so there wasn't a one-time startup fee. It was, they just helped us negotiate deals with curriculum material folks to ensure we got the best price, or we weren't buying something we didn't need with the adoption. Isn't that how it worked?
Yep.
Dr.
We use them so we did a lot of our negotiating we kind of leveraged knowing what the other companies kind of are selling things for, and when doing is creating competition, which then allows us to then save from that process. So we ended up benefiting from that as well.
And while this is a 2-year agreement, the estimated savings on the low end, around 180,000, is an annual savings. So
Correct.
we would
Yes.
expect to see that savings continue each year we're utilizing the platform, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
could, and then also there's some other areas. This was just essentially supplies is what we were
Mhm.
looking at. I mean, so there's other areas like technology and
Nice.
some of those other components that this number was not even considering that. So I talk about conservative, it really truly is a conservative estimate.
And it seems like my perception anyway is that this could save, to your point, full-time equivalent people, and we can't hire anybody for this price. So, I mean, this could potentially having to hire 1 or 2 more people to do all the things we're doing now as we get bigger. So that seems like a good deal.
And the other thing that I'm excited about is I think, empowering the individuals within not only the business department, but schools, and having conversations with them and thinking proactively, what are some of the different ways in which we can become more efficient. Again, this is just one of those ways that we have discussed and obviously vetted throughout the year. But I'm encouraged by our staff within the business department, as well as our treasurers and our principals in the buildings that are, being thoughtful and becoming more efficient and basically voicing those ideas to us in the business department and being able to really consider those things. So I'm excited and encouraged at the same time.
All right, very good. It's been moved and seconded to approve the SpinBridge subscription agreement. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes. And next item on the agenda is the Westfield High School Chiller 1 replacement project, which is also presented by Dr. Hunt.
Thank you again, President Ogle. This evening, as part of your packet, you will see some information regarding a chiller replacement project at Westfield Washington High School. As part of the district's 10-year facility improvement plan, the HVAC system upgrades were identified as a priority at Westfield High School, which is currently at a critical point with one of its chillers or units, Chiller 1, which is at a risk of failure. To avoid loss of cooling during the upcoming season, replacement of this unit must be addressed promptly. The total cost of the project does not exceed the $300,000 threshold that is put forth by Indiana Code with Public Works and having to advertise or have a sealed bid. However, we did secure 3 quotes that is necessary, again, to adhere to that Indiana Code. So following review of submitted bids, or quotes, R.E. Diamond identified a discrepancy in the apparent low bidder proposal. So after further evaluation with Layman's Mechanical, R.E. Diamond determined that Layman's Mechanical demonstrates a clear understanding of the project's scope and requirements. So in a letter dated March 18, 2026, R.E. Diamond formally recommended acceptance of Layman's Mechanical bid in the amount of $287,450 with no alternates. And again, timely approval to ensure replacement of the failing chiller unit prior to the cooling season, maintaining safe and comfortable learning conditions while aligning with the district's long-term facility plan is in place with this recommendation this evening. The fiscal note again is $287,000 or $287,450 of the cost of work for that replacement of the chiller. So at this time, the Administration recommends the Board of School Trustees approve the bid for Layman's Mechanical in the amount of $287,450 for Westfield High School Chiller 1 replacement project. And then authorize the Assistant Superintendent of Business and Operations to execute the final agreement upon legal review to proceed with the project.
Thank you, Dr. Hunt. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the bid from Lehman's Mechanical in the amount of $287,450 for the high school chiller 1 replacement project, as well as authorize the Assistant Superintendent of Business and Operations to execute the final agreement upon legal review to proceed with the project as presented. Thank you, Carrie. Do I have a second? Second. Thank you, Amber. It's been moved and seconded to approve the bid from Lehman's Mechanical for the Chiller 1 replacement project and authorize execution of the final agreement. Is there any discussion or are there any questions?
Does the chiller go on the roof?
Rooftop placement?
I think it's on the ground.
It is on the ground.
All right. No helicopter then.
Ground placement? But it can still be done with students in session?
Yes.
Yes. All right.
Yep.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes. All right, Dr. Hunt, we'll return to you again for the approval of the 2026-2027 before and after care program fees.
Thank you again, President Ogle, this evening. As a background information, it's associated with the BAC fees. There were no fees, just for the indication, there were no fees that were increased for the 25-26 school year. And so that being said, the proposed adjustments that you have before you this evening reflected updated program costs and ensure continued high-quality service delivery. The proposed increases are necessary to address rising operational costs, including staffing wages, employee retention, program supplies, and facility expenses. Additionally, adjustments align with the BAC fees more closely with comparable programs in the region while preserving program quality, safety, and appropriate staff to student ratios. And the increase also helps ensure the long-term financial stability of the program. Just as a reminder, this is a self-sustaining program, meaning that we rely on, obviously, our fees in which to be able to provide that service. So the revised fee structure is expected to offset increased program costs and maintain a self-sustaining BAC program. And so this evening, the administration recommends that the Board of School Trustees approve the proposed fees for the before and after care program for the 26-27 school year.
All right, thank you, Dr. Hunt. At this time, I will entertain a motion to approve the proposed fees for the before and after care program for 2026-2027 school year as presented.
So moved.
Thank you, Bill. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Amber and Mike.
Yep.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the proposed BAC fees for the 2026-2027 school year. Is there any discussion or are there any questions? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think it's a great program. I'm glad to see that it continues. Next, we will move to the curriculum section on the agenda and ask Dr. Hoover to present the first reading of the 2026-2027 student handbooks.
Thank you, President Ogle. Wanted to share with you guys each year that the administration and staff review our K-12 handbooks to ensure that we're meeting all state and federal guidelines, as well as making changes and recommendations based upon any new state law or local changes. The student handbook is used to identify the students and families' processes, protocols, guidelines for all WWS students. And this serves as our annual consideration for the School Board of Trustees. I did want to give a huge shout out to Erica Seymour, our assistant principal at the high school. Erica was the linchpin behind this and really spearheaded this activity. This is one of those activities, even though we do it annually, just because of changes and updates, it's a very tedious activity, but a very necessary one, because
We obviously want to be up to speed with all current changes, and as you guys know, in our state legislature, there's sometimes many of those that we have to adjust to. So this is just the first reading. This document here, we created, hopefully to make this a little ease of use for you, there is 3 sections, basically additions, edits to current, and then anything that was removed. Obviously, the biggest change in the handbook this year is the removal of WIS as we move forward. So you'll see that we remove that, and then you'll see a section for elementary school, middle school, and then high school. You will also see in the review process, there were many people that were part of this, everything from attendance, counseling, food service, health services, safety, transportation, special education, EL high ability, and technology. So it's definitely a process of many people, plus many of our administrators and our WCTA also weigh in. So it's definitely a group project, but a sincere thank you to Erica for streamlining this. And you guys can look through you do not need to look through the entire handbook, but just look through this document. This will give you the updates from last year. And the only other part that I would want to just kind of briefly touch on is that we are still working through, I'm sure you are aware of some of the new legislation on cell phone usage in the school system. Dr. Atha, myself, and the high school staff are working through a process and what that looks like. There is still some, questions as to what will dictate what is, if a backpack is used as a station for the cell phone to be stored throughout the day versus do we actually use actual cases that we would put in rooms and store them for the day. We just need to kind of work through that without maybe getting too far out in front of ourselves.
Yeah, in the bell-to-bell, no cell legislation is, there's 2 main components. The cell phone is supposed to remain off, and inaccessible, which is not clearly defined. The legislators asked the DOE to have a model policy, and what we're hearing is inaccessible will be defined locally. So that's something we're, with our attorney Church hit on Antrim, we're working on. Obviously, we want our teachers to have a little bit of voice in that, especially at the high school. Some middle school, we know the biggest piece for middle school and high school, if we keep that no cell during instructional time, is communicating about after-school events, especially at middle school, but in general shouldn't be a cell phone out or turned on during the instructional day. And so we'll have to adopt a policy on that. We're looking for a first read in May. I've talked with Julia Kazicki from Church on Antrim. And then if we need to tweak the handbooks to align with that, we can do it.
Yeah, I would just say after attending the ISBA update a week ago Monday, it seems like our current policy already kind of lends itself to comply with the state requirement. So hopefully minimal tweaking is all that we need.
Sure.
To meet that standard that the state's pushed out.
Yeah, I think the most difficult is the smartwatches. Those are not allowed, so I don't know, if you turn those off or off and inaccessible for a smartwatch means you probably shouldn't wear them.
That could be true.
So,
yeah.
But we'll work through that, and I agree. We made big strides last year when we adopted and addressed that during instructional time. Our teachers handled it wonderfully, and so we'll just update to be compliant with the new state law.
And this was just the first read to bring to you guys, so if you guys want to look through, and then if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to myself, and I can answer any questions between now and May, and then we will make the formal recommendation for May.
Thank you, Dr. Hoover. And again, no action on the board, and board members should reach out to Dr. Hoover prior to May 12th, but appreciate the format and the red line agreements. It makes it really easy for us to review all the pages. So I know I speak for my fellow board members with sincere appreciation for the effort it takes to get that done. So thank you again. All right, that was our only item in curriculum. Now we move to success stories, where we ask board members and superintendents to share success stories from the past month. Dr. Athey, would you like to kick us off?
Sure, I have a few that have been given to me to point out. One of the things Westfield Washington Schools is proud to share that we had 12 third grade students that scored in the top 2% in math statewide on the iLearn, and so they've been invited, those 12 students, or we're sending out information to their families to allow them to apply for a National Math Stars program. It's a prestigious national opportunity, and so our goal there is to communicate to families we just got this information, and then hopefully we'll be able to recognize those students and our staff on the academic excellence at our May board meeting. Nice. So this is in connection with the state high ability programming. So kudos. We want to, we are very proud of our teachers and our students, and this is just one of those examples that we want to lean into to congratulate them. Also, so earlier tonight, we had a high school student, Sophia, who was the student of the month. What we didn't say is the Best Buddies Club has raised $14,000 this year, and that is, they are the top fundraiser in the state. And they are ranked 4th nationally in fundraising in their chapter. So I just want to acknowledge she was student of the month and shout out to her, but that's just an example of what that club, her leadership in that club has done. And then I just want to note that the Noises Off, our Westfield High School play, opens this week. And so we're looking forward to supporting our theater department. So if you're available and have your badge, you can get into that theater production for free, I believe, or you get 1 or 2 tickets. But if you want to attend, you can reach out to Mrs. Pratt, and she'll make sure you have a ticket.
Excellent. I wanted to take a minute to give congratulations to Bill and Mike. As I mentioned, we went to the Indiana School Board Association regional meeting a week ago Monday, and Bill and Mike were each individually recognized as distinguished board members by the ISBA. And so we appreciate your dedication and spending extra time attending events to better yourselves as school board members, and then maybe much because of your efforts, our entire board was awarded a commendable status, and so we actually received a plaque that we can all proudly display for the upcoming year. So Dr. Hoover has it right there. Yeah. So anyway, that was a good night. Get some recognition. I also wanted to take a minute to point out Avery Parker. She is a Westfield High School graduate. She is a phenomenal softball player, and she holds many records for Westfield High School, and she's gone on now to make her mark at IU. She's a senior at IU, and she just hit the all-time home run leader, and the season is not over. So she's doing quite well, making Westfield proud, adding to the list of many of our alumni that have gone on to do great things at the collegiate level and beyond. So congrats to Avery. Anybody else? Amber, do you have foundation updates?
Yep, I have some foundation updates. As everyone knows, it's our 40th anniversary year, so we've been going around touring all the schools and encouraging staff to participate in payroll deduct, which allows us to give out grants and scholarships. And so last Wednesday, we went around to 78 classrooms and awarded staff with grants. And a couple of the ones that were most interesting to me were getting classroom supplies, knowing cell phones would not be allowed to be used. So they currently use cell phones to do accurate like timing, like a stopwatch. And so one of the staff members requested accurate stopwatches, and there's some recording devices and just some like little things that over at the middle school and high school that they're using cell phones like to help with education. So anyway, so that was interesting. And then we also had a record high of 245 seniors fill out scholarships, which we have not awarded yet. That's to come. Yeah, so that's my update.
Nice. Gary, Mike? Dr. Hoover? Anyone? All right. Okay, well, thanks everybody for sharing. Our next regular board meeting will be held May 12th, 6:30 in this room. Can I please have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Thank you, Bill. Do I have a second? Second. Thank you, Amber. All in favor say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned.